this June 29th Brown County Commission meeting to order. Commissioner Piker, lead us in the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning.
Morning.
First item is to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Thompson, second by Weiss to approve the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, RFP order representation service, county jail evaluation.
I see it in the
It was in
packet.
the packet. Did anybody have a chance to look at it? There were different options available. Do they need any kind of approval or what? I mean, was it information only? I guess that's my question.
We're looking to set the hearing date to open the sealed RFPs. And this, what was sent to you was a sample of what the specs look like for the RFP. And
Where do we all advertise that? Just have it on the website?
we legally have to put it in the newspaper twice, and then beyond that, we can put it on our website. If we have companies in the Midwest that we know, we can also let them know as well that we're bidding.
Are the companies that provide these RFPs also ones that build new jails?
I don't know, I was hoping the sheriff would have attended.
There might be some affiliation, the way they made it sound when they talked to us.
Sometimes, some of them are just owner reps. Some of them are contractors who've done a lot of these. It's kind of a mixed bag.
Sure.
From the people I've talked to.
Morning. And have we talked to, compared this to some other counties that have done it, and this includes everything that we need, based on what other counties have asked for? Do we know?
You want to talk about your RFP for the owner representation services?
I'm here, but he's speaking.
I don't know if this is from what other counties who have done this, if this is exactly what they have or don't have. The first of it was options that I believe you guys wanted to have more than one option, so we came up with 4 different options for them to look at. We did work with Tegra on some of the things that, such as the feasibility, and they have worked with other counties that has done this, and this is what they recommended. We did make the changes as far as some of the options and some of the other language in there. We changed a few of their recommendations. So I guess the answer to that question would be, I believe so, in that they have worked with other counties that have gone down this road, and they gave us their recommendations for an RFP. Do I have direct contact with Lincoln County, Minnehaha County, or Clay County? No. But Tegra has worked with those counties, and some of this is their recommendation. We did add options in to the RFP, so we have more options and more data.
Do we have any idea at all how many companies might be able to do this, or is it pretty? I have a hunch that it's a pretty limited resource as far as how many.
It's probably up to about half a dozen.
Early in this process, when we were talking about it, we knew of at least 4 or 5 that do exactly this.
When I visited with Carol Muller from Minnehaha County, when they were looking for a company to do this, I think she vetted 8 or 9 different firms that did it, and they decided on the one they decided on. But
Yeah, this isn't just free that only do this. There will be a selection.
Because what I'm curious about is, are the firms that are going to be putting in and interested in doing this, do they only build new jails, or have they been involved in renovations and other options too?
Tegra, the company that Minnehaha went with, They are currently in charge of putting together the new event center, civic center, whatever it's going to be called in Rapid City. So they do other venues besides
Building
jail.
new structures though.
Right, right.
And
And remodeling.
they have remodeled jails before.
Okay, so it's not just, I just didn't want to ask, hey, what are the options, and then all they offer is, hey, we build new jails, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Because like we say in here, we want to know what would it cost to renovate, what would it cost to, do different things.
When we have talked to them, they talk specifically about, what is it, pre-built units to come put in existing jails or existing space as kind of a renovation. So I'm pretty sure they've done renovations as well. And I know most of these companies that do jails also do things like schools, hospitals, stuff like that.
Okay.
When I called them, talked to them, no, I specifically said, we really want the full gamut. We don't want just a brand new facility. We want to know what it would be, and that's why they came up with, what if we closed the jail? What will it cost the county to completely just shut the jail down, or a variation of keeping and shipping people out from here until, way in the future. So there are those options for you guys, and I was very specific and said, no, that's not an issue, that's not a problem.
Yeah, from my understanding, that's the first, biggest, most important component is a needs analysis. And you do that by meeting with a whole bunch of different stakeholders in the region and the community and determine, okay, where have you been, where are you at, where do you envision that you're going to be, and what are the options moving forward with that, both physically, logistically, as well as, from a financial and practical standpoint. And the RFP is basically knowing the initial information, what services do you think you can bring to bear that we would be interested in having a contract with to move that process forward from a variety of different people, and it may be a completely different type of proposal, and they're negotiable. I know, Commissioner Sutton mentioned the Rapid City Event Center, and the folks that are involved in that mentioned that they have a different level of participation in that process based on what that entity requested as a customer that they participate in or not. And so, they're usually, as an advocate, professionals in the field when these kind of things happen. So I think it would be interesting and good for us to see what type of proposals come back from people in the field for us to look at and consider going forward, but it doesn't obligate us to anything yet at this point.
And I support this. My only concern is I want it to be a holistic view, because 5 years ago when we put the $1 million into the renovation, we forgot to tell us, oh, we need 4 FTE to run this new, that was never discussed. So I'd like to see and hear that, if they're doing just the brick and mortar and this is what it's going to cost, we work with them to say, okay, this is how many more people it's going to take.
That was part of the conversation. It's not only that, though. They're supposed to tell us if you were to build, for example, how many more manpower, what's the heat, the
Utilities
cooling,
going forward.
Exactly. All of that's supposed to be included with all of this.
And I didn't
so
see
you
it
know
in
the
here.
full.
That's why I'm asking.
And I don't know
if it
if
is
that's
great.
specifically, but
Okay.
I know when I talked to him verbally, he said that's all part
They'll
of that
include
whole
it.
thing.
Okay.
Is supposed to be in there. If that needs to be some changes in wording, I don't think they have any problem with that.
Okay.
They're more than happy to do whatever
Yeah,
we want.
concept, I call it turnkey, meaning everything from personnel to water bills, electricity bill, what's it gonna cost, not just to get the facility on the ground, but to operate.
Yeah, one of the terms used is life cycle cost, looking back 20 years, what's it take to operate this facility on a daily basis through that life cycle, whatever it happens to be, but that includes all of those daily expenses that you've got.
And likewise, as if we were to say we were to farm our inmates out, how much manpower will it cost? Vehicles, all that type of stuff that would involve that, the insurances and stuff that probably would be higher with the amount of miles. That's all supposed to be, as I understood talking to him, that would be in that proposal.
Okay.
Well, since it's going up for bid, the guys that do that are gonna have a leg up.
Sure.
You know, if you get one that doesn't have that, well,
Right.
you're not taking their bid.
Right.
Well, I just didn't want them to all come back and nobody has it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
if it's not in here, they're not gonna assume they have to do any more than what we specify they have to do. And I didn't, maybe it's, I've read it a couple times, but I didn't see anything, and I liked how you worded it, you know, the whole,
It's the whole picture.
yeah.
And I know even with, of course, we went with Tegridge to just give us somewhat of an outline, but they said we're happy to do the interviews with you, to ask those questions, to make sure that you guys are getting what you're supposed to be getting for the money that you're gonna spend. And I'm assuming the other companies would do the same thing as they would, that they're in the business to make sure you get a good product at the end, what you want.
And I think, Rachel, your concern for us is the goal of this process is to define short-term and long-term facility needs. So we're also looking under that long-term would cover that life cycle cost.
Sure.
Now, the issue, as I see, we're gonna advertise the RFP. There's not really anybody in this area that does this kind of thing. How far are we gonna go out to put the RFP out there? I mean, because we can put it in the American News, but I don't think there's anybody in Aberdeen that does this kind of work. So where's the best place to advertise this at? That's my question, because, you know, we're looking for, I don't know if there's Fargo, Sioux Falls has companies, or are we gonna go out to the Minneapolis to find a company that does this?
Tegra is out of Minneapolis.
Yeah, but I think we don't want one, we want 3 or 4 or 5. I mean, is where we gotta, how far do we gotta go out to get that?
My assumption would be to go to like the Minnehaha counties, the ones that we know that have already had a pile, see where they're at, see how far they're at, and even invite them to bid.
Get a list from Minnehaha County of who
Yeah.
she interviewed and maybe send it out to that group of
Yeah.
companies.
I think so. That'd be a good start anyway.
Yep. Yep.
And there might be an exchange, just like they do with landfill bid, you know, there's an exchange of that type of
Maybe, yeah.
people that...
Well, it's South Dakota, but I think you put it, you know, put it on the EGC site, the Association of General Contractors, they've got a listserv and they've got things that go out on a daily basis to our membership.
Can we write, so step 1A feasibility under bullet point 2, it says solicit proposals for a feasibility study that will identify inmate trends, population projections, jail capacity needs and requirements. Can we just put, and future staffing and utility needs?
Sure, if you want to.
Then we have it specifically in there. If so, I would make a motion, we go ahead and get this advertised.
Second.
I do have a question. Are you guys okay with our current bid schedule with opening of bids on 7/20, 20th of July, or is that too soon?
Maybe you want to leave it out there a little longer.
Yeah, I think so, because this is going to be a little more specific. I think we want to give them some time.
So we should set a date of when we want to open these RFPs.
Yeah, I would say give it 2 more weeks.
2 more weeks.
Into August, yeah.
I wonder
If you please.
if August 3rd, maybe.
We don't want to shortchange ourselves on this end of it. I think that would be a bad deal for us.
So the third is kind of what we're looking at.
That'd give them a month.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a motion by Kipley, a second by Sutton to advertise for RFP for the county jail evaluation. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
With the added language.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys, I know it's a lot of work.
Kathy, I'll shoot you a copy of the added language and bullet point from your
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
Send me or text.
And then on the bottom of page 2,
Thanks, Dave.
we'll need to update that too with the deadline for questions.
I'll send it a Word copy.
Okay, next item, we have the South
Get Dennis.
dump site contract. I believe it's a signed contract. The Jacobs have signed it. I have signed it. It meets everybody's approval. I don't think there's any other things that need to be done at this point, do
Set a
there?
closing date and get them a check.
Mike have any questions?
I don't, I guess, I haven't seen a final copy, but I'm assuming it's still similar to...
85,000, 1,000 up front, 84.
What's the acquisition date? When do we acquire it?
I think,
let's see, I don't see the date right off the
I
top
don't
of my
think
head.
there's a specific, I think it's upon approval or signing of the deeds, I think. Right,
I got it.
Ross?
Possession of this
Yeah, we
premise
got
shall be
the
given to
closing.
purchaser at closing. Closing shall be on or before July 15, 2021 at 9 a.m.
Okay, so
or
we're
such
closing.
other date and time as parties may agree on.
And the time for them to clean things out.
They're still working
I
on
heard
it.
August
that's mostly
15th.
gone.
I think it says in there, is it August 15th?
August 1st or August 15th, I
Yeah.
can't remember which one.
That's a stipulation.
Yep.
And it has specific in there that he can remove the railroad car. It doesn't say that he has to.
Yep.
So if he doesn't, then the county will either have Mardians or
Gift
somebody.
for us.
Yeah. Well, sir,
I don't think we need to have a motion or anything on it, do we? It was
I would
already,
like
a motion
to.
already done.
Since it was changed,
Yeah.
I believe we should.
I'll make a motion to approve the most latest,
I'll second it.
yeah, the latest version of the agreement.
Thank you.
Doug's already got it signed.
Yeah.
Do we want to address a closing date too at that same time in that motion? Because now it's just kind of vague, on or before July 15th. Do you want to set an exact closing date?
Well, that's
Say we let
probably
the
going-
state attorney...
I shouldn't
set the
say
date.
closing, possession date.
I think it's whenever everybody's available.
Yeah, that's,
So maybe somebody talk to Bob, and then one or two of you guys figure out when, I know Gosh wanted to handle it, so.
Okay, so we have the motion, a second, to authorize the chair to sign the updated purchase agreement for the south side land dump site.
and set a closing,
And closing to be determined.
Yep.
On everyone's availability.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
That was easy.
okay.
One
There
day,
were some
Where's
questions
that
what
button at?
budget that comes out of.
Thank you, Dennis.
We can do it out of landfill.
one day before the deadline. We got it done by July 1st.
Wow.
Is there a time frame, Mike, that you see the dumpsters going over there? Can they just be picked up and just hauled across?
For the most part, I think we'd probably run a blade through there, you know, where we're gonna set them and do a little bit of grade work first,
Yeah.
you know, before we move everything
Level it
over
out a
there.
little
Just
bit.
get things squared up and
Yep.
take care of things before we place them there. But for the most part, they could be moved fairly quick. As long as we got enough room to get the truck in and out of there safely, but not back over somebody while we get the other building demoed. You know, there's not a lot of room to, you know, there's not 3 approaches like there is south. You know, hopefully we can get in and out of there without any issues.
Yep.
So,
Will the cameras stay there and zoom over? Will we take out the Wi-Fi and the what will we do there?
things are gonna have to be moved, you know, to
Our
to
property
view
best
what's on
accommodate.
our property.
Okay.
There'll have to be a
Yeah.
box, a shed, something put up to be all weather that's gonna house those
Yeah.
computer.
So, to be determined. To be
So-
determined, but yeah.
We'll need to get a date though to the fire. Don't they sometimes use their Wi-Fi, the fire department?
They do.
So we'll have to
Well,
have a
yeah, I'm
conversation then.
assuming that that'll end
Well,
and the cameras will be moved. And hopefully when we do move them, we can make things better than what they are because they're not real great right now.
Now, does the county own those cameras?
We do.
Yeah.
And the no connection to the fire station other than drawing?
Just using
They've been
the-
using our
the
Wi-Fi.
inside.
We pay them monthly.
Okay.
Well, cameras are good enough to get some interesting footage now and again.
they work, but there's a lot better
Yes.
stuff out there now, a lot better.
Yep.
Same way at the fairgrounds, I mean, it's still
Now's a good time to upgrade.
lots of stuff that can be,
Well, it's a work in progress.
it's a work in progress, but at least we'll be moving and just right next door.
Yep.
Firemen will be
Not a lot of
happy.
education to change people's habits.
Yeah.
So, just gotta drive in and head north. So, when we're ready, we'll have them over there.
Very good.
Thank you much.
Yep,
Thanks, Mike.
yep.
Okay, Jeanette, we're done with our agenda items. You wanna go through your stuff?
First one is approved general meeting minutes of June 22, 2021.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Kipling, to approve the general meeting minutes of June 22nd. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Claims.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Piker, second by Sutton, to approve the claims. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
HR report.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Piker, to approve the HR report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Set hearing date for temporary malt beverage license.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Weiss, to set the hearing date for a temporary malt beverage license. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
2021 Brown County Farmers Union and Farm Safety Camp rental donation request.
Move.
Second.
We had a motion by Piker, a second by Weiss, and that was to waive the fee for the, they have a youth out there during that week or something. I was reading on that sheet.
Mhm.
Safety.
Farm safety.
Right, safety course, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Auditor's report of accounts.
Move.
Second.
Question, is that a monthly report, or is it a 6-month report, or what's the time frame of
I
that?
think it's monthly.
I think we get it
Yeah.
every month.
Yeah.
Monthly report?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a motion by Sutton, a second by Weiss, to approve the auditor's report of account. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Lottery permit.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Weiss, to approve the lottery permit. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mosquito control grant.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Piker, second by Kipling, mosquito control grant. We were awarded $15,000 on that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Abatement.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Piker, to approve the abatements. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
That's all.
Anything else coming before the commission? Well, this is gonna be a record.
Except for personnel fees.
What?
Move it.
Except for personnel fees.
Okay.
I'll move it.
Second.
We have a motion by Sutton, a second by Weiss, to go into executive personnel with Erica present. All in favor?
Aye.
We are in exec. Out of exec, no action as a result, and also, Patricia Kendall was in exec for personnel. Anything else to come before the commission?
Oh, we should
Yep.
give an update on the state association.
I had a call too, but go ahead.
I forwarded the email to all of you that I got last night. It didn't show that it went to everybody, so, effective tomorrow, Bob Wilcox is officially retired. And last week at our board meeting, we appointed, Chris Jacobson as the new executive director of the STACC. Set a salary range for her, and, that's about it.
And the convention will be in September, and it sounds like Kathy wants us to get our own rooms.
Yep.
It's gonna be at the Ramcota.
Okay.
The maze.
And the Ramcota school.
Is it?
I think so.
It's what?
You called the Ramcota, well, I haven't.
Book.
I don't know where I picked that up at, somewhere.
Yeah, it was in an
Here's
email.
I sent you the email that we got saying they're already full,
Yep.
and they had other recommended hotels.
Yes.
But I thought since they're full, do the thing, so.
Some of those
Might
were
have to stay in
reserved.
bed with.
There you go.
Zoom in, right?
Right.
I'll move to adjourn.
No, I
Oh,
got one
I'm
other
sorry.
thing. Yeah. I had a call from a guy up in the northwest corner, or northeast corner of the county. He wants to burn cattails He's trying to clean out low areas that have been flooded for the last 5, 10 years, 15 years, and he's tired of cutting them and baling them. He wants to cut them, leave them in windrows, and then burn the windrows. And I told him with the 4th of July coming and the burn ban on, they're just, I mean, I'll bring it up at the meeting here, but I just can't imagine that. I mean, should we have him talk to Scott Knight? I mean, is there a way that he could get a special permit just to do what he's trying to do?
Or what fire district is he in?
Hecla, I think. Be Hecla.
I mean, if the fire chief there, if he's talked to him and they work out a plan, and if he
Because
gets
he
his...
said they've got fire breaks, disc, and the whole entire works.
If
but I mean,
they've got the fire chief for that fire district's recommendation and he approves it, that would carry more weight than anything else as far as I'm concerned.
But it's gonna go over our resolution where we
Right.
put the burn ban on.
Mhm.
So what do we do on that?
Well, we could, make an exception to it, I would think, if the fire chief for that fire district understands, that that's something that he wants to
I
participate
haven't
in.
suggested to him, but, sometimes Sand Lake, and of course, for the most part, they want to save habitat too, but there might be an outside chance that he could get some other help, people to be around in case something went haywire there too.
Well, I'm sure anybody who potentially could be affected would.
So I'll call him back and tell him that he should talk with his fire department and...
I would think so, because they're the ones going to get the call if it...
And give him Scott Knight's phone number, let him visit with Scott too, I think.
Yep.
So, okay.
Came back from Polycash stand, there was a prairie fire west of Eureka, somebody was cutting hay and must have hit a rock, and that's just how dry it is, one spark.
Yep.
We've quit already because it's so hot. When you get out to work on a cutter bar on a piece of equipment, so incredibly hot, you cannot work on it. I can't imagine how that doesn't start a fire in itself. I mean, you could grab any
You
piece of
can.
iron out there right now that's sitting in that sun for
Yep.
all afternoon, you can't even hang on to it.
We had a motion to adjourn from Sutton.
I'll make it, yep.
Okay.
Second from Weiss to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are